You seem like you purposely want to set up this dichotomy between, oh, this is a blue state and that's a red state. Yeah. And I don't want to live in that country. I like Florida.
I'm with you.
Bill Maher spoke with Gavin Newsom on his show Real Time with Bill Maher. He also asked Gavin Newsom questions on a variety of subjects, including the DE issue. Now, a lot of people will believe that today's Bill Maher guest, Gavin Newsom, will run for president in the next election. A lot of people think that. I think he has a good chance of winning the Democratic nominee. Bill Maher is definitely still a Democrat in spite of his realization. He probably does want the Democrats to win in his thinking. He also wants to guarantee that the best candidate is offered. Bill Maher is putting pressure on Gavin Newsom on a number of issues, including DEI in this specific clip. Let's look into it. Watch this video of Bill Maher cornering Gavin Newsom on Real Time with Bill Maher.
This year we know. No, I know. But he said, I don't think he could win. I don't think he could win. He's too progressive coming from this state and what he's done in this state to win in any southern state, any red state. I disagree, but now this is a progressive African-American owned station, and I'm sure they like you, but he doesn't think you could win. What do you say to that if you could win look at the swing states, there's only 8 of them.
Right. Well, I mean, California's an interesting case study, isn't it? It's the size of 21 state populations combined.
Yeah.
2/3 of the state is very deeply red. We don't need to be lectured on rural politics or border issues. I mean, in so many ways, these are familiar issues, and the issues of the heartland of the United States are very much a part and parcel of the work we're doing in this state. But look, I understand this notion that you're from the coast, you don't understand those things. You can't talk the language. You're not able to communicate. You're not able to actually encourage and find that common.
No, it's stuff like there's a new law in this. I think we have way too many regulations and laws, as we've talked about. And this one, I think, says if you're a department store with over 500 employees, you have to have a gender-neutral toy department.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I get it.
So do you think that's silly? Do you think that's a silly thing too much government there?
He will go into political mode now that he doesn't think it's ridiculous. Naturally, Bill Maher finds that ridiculous. As a result, Gavin Newsom is being cornered by Bill Maher, which the Real Time with Bill Maher audience obviously thinks ridiculous. And anyone with a working human brain would find that ridiculous. But the reason they behave this way is simply because they like having more power over others. It adopts an authoritarian posture. Their goal is to influence the public as much as possible. And Gavin Newsom does precisely that in California, and Bill doesn't think that's ridiculous. Unfortunately, some people, like Gavin Newsom, have completely distorted opinions, and they don't think that's ridiculous.
And they're supporting that. And they're the ones making a case for that. They're already moving in that direction.
Wanted you to make a law about them?
Well, but they've supported the legislation. It wasn't legislation that was enacted, that was initiated from my office, but it was legislation that came up with interesting support from the industry itself. But I understand how that's exploited, and good people can disagree. But that's not something we woke up and said, this is a top priority for the state, when we know the top priorities are homelessness, housing, the issues of crime, quality of life, and issues related to regulation and taxes, which are all top of mind. But I get how those things are weapon.
All right. So, I got you here, because I live here and I'm not going anywhere. Well, I just want to make this a better state like everybody else. And good job this year making it rain.
You're welcome. That was my legislative priority.
It was looking bad there for a while, and we still don't have enough water in the Colorado River and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then whenever I read 80% of the water goes to agriculture. Almonds.
Right.
No one ever asked you about almonds? Oh, I'm going to ask you about almonds. We grow a boatload of almonds.
I'm well aware.
You know what? You know how much water it takes?
Many gallons.
1,900 gallons to grow a pound of almonds. Come on, man. Take on big almonds.
Take on big almonds.
I mean, it's not like...
That is really absurd. Honestly, I had no idea. Did he say that 1 pound of almonds requires 1,900 liters? That is a ridiculous number, to be honest. That sounds like a lot of water, even though I'm not a very good farmer. If California is the nation's main supplier of almonds, they also require a lot of water, which they just don't have. Unfortunately, Gavin Newsom can't make rain. Many Californians, I'm sure, think Gavin Newsom can make it rain, and they'll probably give him all the credit when it happens. Fortunately, he can't make it rain. Bill Maher, however, presents a strong argument. The severity of the water problem truly astounds me.
Well, you're right about it. It's not that we don't have the water. That said, the last couple of years were tough. I mean, it's also where the water's falling and we're not capturing it. And we're not capturing those extreme years with these atmospheric rivers. Wets are getting a lot wetter, dry's drier, hot's getting a lot hotter. And so we've got to modernize our conveyance system. We've got to modernize our storage, not just above ground, but below ground. And so that's a big part of our focus and frame, including desalinization plants. We have 20 projects just on desal that we're working on today. So we put out a detailed water strategy that includes, by the way, getting that Delta conveyance project back up and operational, and includes the first above ground off stream storage facility in half a century in the state, which, by the way, is being aided by a regulatory package I pushed forward to reduce red tape in the state of California and just the permitting quagmires that you rightfully pointed out.
Say you're good at this. I'm telling you, you're good at this job. Okay. But here's, I feel like the last couple of years you've purposely picked this fight with the red states. I mean, the dissent. Yeah, but I don't want to live in the Civil War.
I agree with that.
You know what? But you seem like you purposely want to set up this dichotomy between, this is a blue state and that's a red state. Yeah. And I don't want to live in that country. I like Florida.
I'm with you. And by the way, I like Florida as well. I like all these states. I completely agree. I don't want to have a state of mind that's...
You do, in fact. Come on. Did you see that Gavin Newsom was uncomfortable? He literally started to move in his seat while Bill Maher was giving him direct criticism. For this reason, I love Bill Maher. Over the past 2 or 3 years, Bill Maher has gained my admiration for his willingness to address these individuals outside of his monologues on his show. He's ready to take them on. Today, Gavin Newsom is a successful politician. Let's be truthful. He is adept at navigating his way out of challenging situations, but he lacks expertise in the sense that his policies are sound. Thus, he will attempt to bargain his way out of this. Among other things, he will charm his way through it and make the audience laugh. But Bill Maher knows the truth. Bill Maher knows that this individual would be harmful to the country. As a result, he is holding him accountable for exactly that kind of behavior. This country will become even more divided if you win. If you get more power and influence, all you desire is division. There is conflict between the left and the right. The left has always viewed the matter as a football match. The right wing occasionally performs this as well. Without a doubt, they treat this as if it were a sporting event. I disagree with everything you say simply because it comes from you. It's my side versus yours. It shouldn't be like that. Real individuals aren't that polarizing, They are not so divided as to fully agree with all that their assigned side is supposed to believe. They also loathe the opponent's words. And that's not how anyone actually thinks. Only because they approach it like a sporting event do people think that way. My side versus yours, we should only talk about how we can work together. I understand that this could be interpreted as a careless attitude. Nonetheless, we ought to work toward a time when everyone can be unique while still working together to advance the country. Just because the other side is always there doesn't mean you should attack them. And Gavin Newsom supports that, and I'm thrilled that Bill Maher is...
It's been a tough 5-6 years across the globe, not just in this country. That said, I'm not going to sit back and watch. You made the point just a moment ago in your monologue. You got folks out there trying to bring us back to a pre-1960s world. America in reverse, rolling back voting rights, LGBTQ rights, women's rights, not just access to abortion, but contraception. I mean, it's a profound and consequential moment. And you could sit by and say, well, I really want to get along as these guys are rolling back the clock, or you can stand tall and assert yourself. And the reason I started to go into those red states, the reason I started to take on DeSantis, and the reason I started doing ads in these red states is I didn't feel my party was doing enough. It was CRT one year, and then it's ESG, and it's DEI, anything with 3 letters. These guys keep coming, and they're shape-shifting. And they're
Whoa, what a tremendous turn Gavin Newsom made. He is now accusing the left of supporting DEI and related concepts. Give me some sleep, please. This person pushed all of that just as hard, if not harder, than anyone else. Despite his disparaging comments, he was pressing those woke 3-letter motions just as hard as everyone else. But now he's suddenly saying, let me get on everybody's good side and say the things that sound good right now on Real Time with Bill Maher. This is due to the fact that people like Bill Maher are criticizing him for supporting such notions because the tide has turned. In the comments box, please let us know what you think of Bill Maher's words to Gavin Newsom. What are your thoughts on his responses? Do you think Gavin Newsom will run? If that is the case, do you think he will be the Democratic nominee?